I was born with garden topsoil in my DNA, as elemental as carbon and oxygen. Other than a few lackluster years when plunging my hands into soil didn't seem like a viable option, not a spring has passed that I haven't tossed a handful of belief into a patch of dirt and waited to see what would happen. There were years I was wide awake to the magic, tending to my fledgling miracles like an overbearing helicopter mom. Most years I've been at least half asleep on the job, too distracted to bear witness to the slow growth, scared off by the aggressive vitality of the weeds, and generally feeling like a gardening fraud who ultimately doesn't care enough to suffer in the sun. Still, every year, at least some of the seeds sprout and grow. Ninth grade biology aside, in my heart of hearts, I do not understand how it happens. I only know it does. For over a decade, my husband Corey has been the chaplain at the Elkhart County Jail, entrusted with the spiritual care of nearly 900 incarcerated people. And because this clearly matters to the heart of God, he cares about their physical needs too. The North Star of his worldview is that no one should have to die to experience the kingdom of God. The first time I heard him say this, it rang out like a revolution. The sort of thing you might stake your life on, but also something that might get you hauled off to God's office for detention. I'd always been taught that the final scene, the whole point of everything, was heaven. The kingdom up there in the postal code of transcendence. Nothing that happened down on this piddly rock could compare. God was in heaven. Eternity was in heaven. The end. This invasive mentality leads to the functional belief that Earth is temporary and quasi-disposable. The state of the environment is irrelevant. Anyone who cares too much should be eyed with suspicion. Poverty, both global and local, is a bummer. But we are meant to focus our eyes upward. This framework rests on avoiding hell and biding our time, as Christianly as possible, until we fly away to glory. Everything will be fixed one day, in heaven. That logic never connected for me. I struggled with the idea of loving the life I was given while remaining ready at a moment's notice to leave it behind for a place with no bodies, no seasons, no creek beds thick with crawdads, no sloppy paint sets or Babysitters Club paperbacks. Heaven was good, everyone promised, better than good. But I could not muster sincere enthusiasm for streets of gold, jewel-encrusted crowns, strange angels with scary eyes, or singing at God's feet for all of eternity. Not when I had finally learned to ride a bicycle. Not when my aunt had just given me a huge plastic case packed with Mary Kay samples. Not when there were cousins and sleepovers and a mom and dad who held me on their laps and kept me safe on Rangeline Road. Candidly, heaven sounded devastating.